All right, thanks everyone. Hi, I am Ali Bazanga and I'm the marketing lead here at Upwave. Thank you so much for joining the latest in our expert update from Upwave event series. Today, I'm happy to introduce our senior product manager, Jeremy O'Brien, who will be taking you through our new feature, Portfolio Analytics. Please note that we will be taking Q&A at the end of the session. So if you have any questions, please utilize the Q&A function at the bottom of the screen, and we'll get to those at the end of the session. Thanks, and over to you, Jeremy.
Thanks so much for the intro, Ali. Yes, today we're talking about an exciting new feature, self-serve brand portfolios. So the Upwave brand analytics platform makes measuring all your campaigns easy. Yet comparing across your portfolio requires toggling between separate views for each specific campaign. And if you're looking to understand average performance, it means manually computing that. This is a challenge that we seek to address for our customers. Marketers need to analyze across campaigns in order to make bigger picture decisions. The campaign level view helps to answer campaign-specific questions, but brand marketers often need to look across campaigns in order to make planning, budgeting, and even optimization decisions. So with this in mind, we're very excited to roll out a new time-saving addition to our dashboard. Portfolio Analytics, a single view of results for multiple campaigns. And there it is. So this new feature makes it easier than ever for you to compare KPI lift performance across any of your measured campaigns in one place in a single view. Provides you with KPI lift benchmarks that factor in confidence in each campaign's result, giving you weighted averages and a typical range in lift. And you can choose specific sets of your campaigns to compare from a specific brand, product, vertical, or another grouping that's meaningful to you in order to generate custom KPI lift benchmarks for them. Let's talk a little bit about the feature. So once logged in on app.upwave.com, you can use the context switcher in the upper right-hand corner of the page to select this new feature, this new view, the portfolio view. In the portfolio view, you can use the campaigns pane in the left-hand sidebar to select which campaigns you would like to compare. This is a lot like what you find in the campaigns view, where you can select different cuts and KPIs to compare. Very similar UX. Once you've selected campaigns, you can toggle to the KPI pane in the same sidebar in order to select which KPIs you would like to compare across those campaigns. The table displays not only the KPI lift and confidence intervals for each campaign, as depicted over here in the hover on the right-hand side of the table, but it also provides a dynamically generated weighted average based on the campaigns and KPIs you've selected. It gives you a confidence interval for that weighted average. This can serve as a custom benchmark for groupings of brands or sub-brands, products, categories, verticals, types of campaigns, anything you want to do in order to group and organize your campaigns. So how is this valuable for Upwave users, this portfolio analytics view? Well, first, let's talk about advertisers, particularly those with multiple SKUs, products, distinct brands within and across categories who have lots of campaigns to keep track of. This overview of portfolio-wide performance can serve as, portfolio-wide performance, as well as the lift benchmarks that it generates by brands or categories, can serve as a valuable input for brand reviews, for strategic planning, comms planning cycles, for the budgeting cycle. Let's take a look at the benefits that this provides in a real-world scenario for a brand. So a director of marketing analytics at a large consumer brand needs to summarize campaign lifts for funnel metrics for an annual brand review. Portfolio makes this easy for him to do for all the campaigns he's run with Upwave. With just a few clicks, he's able to view a year's worth of campaign results at a glance. He can see and highlight which campaigns are underperformers and which are overperformers, and additionally, can download and share these insights easily with colleagues. This accomplishes what would otherwise be a laborious undertaking, reviewing many different results with a handful of clicks right in the dashboard. So soon, brand portfolio analytics will enable marketers to also compare tactics, channels, audiences, media formats, video links, publishers, any cut based on impression parameters. And to also calculate average KPI lift for each of these tactics across the campaigns in which those tactics were used. This is very exciting. Let's put this in perspective with some examples. Let's think first about how publishers use portfolio. Publishers can set lift performance expectations throughout the sales cycle, pre-sale, sale, and post-sale, leveraging lift benchmarks that are based on different media formats, ad units, any cuts that they're measuring in their campaigns. These can also serve as useful proof points for product marketing, case studies, and sales collateral. And additionally, it can help to inform which media products the sales teams prioritize for their customers, demonstrating competitive performance based on lift benchmarks. Take this scenario, for example. The VP of analytics at a major publisher is tasked with refreshing benchmarks for ad effectiveness by ad type and client vertical on a quarterly basis. This latest portfolio feature makes this so much easier. Much lower level of effort. With the organization and content that's available in the sidebar in the portfolio view, the VP searches and selects for groups of campaigns that fall under different verticals. She uses the Cuts tab to isolate video and display ad types. The table updates with these selections so she can easily access and compare the KPI benchmarks for display and video across multiple verticals: consumer finance, CPG, automotive, all in a few clicks. And she can download this information and add it to the team's knowledge base, all right there in the dashboard. How about agencies? Well, the portfolio view can help agencies to validate their media strategies, the audience planning that they do, their tactical recommendations, pilots they undertake for their clients. It can also speak to learning agendas, whether they're client-driven or agency-driven. And when combined with other information like media pricing data, it can help in the analysis of frequency and cost efficiency in the context of ad effectiveness. Lastly, it can also feed into test and learn and planning best practices, helping agencies to demonstrate that they're optimizing go-forward media planning. To consider one more scenario, this one from an agency perspective, an agency has been tasked with evaluating which audio streaming platform a leading lifestyle brand should partner with for the upcoming year. Using the portfolio feature, the agency can easily view the weighted average of lift for each platform across prior campaigns. Compare the KPI lifts between the audio platforms and leverage these insights in order to solicit competitive bids and possibly even negotiate publisher deals based on the effectiveness of those partners. We are very, very excited to bring this new feature to our customers. Again, portfolio analytics makes it easy to compare results across an entire portfolio of brand campaigns you measure with Upwave in one single view, giving you an at-a-glance, high-level perspective on how your campaigns are performing. With weighted averages of KPI lift performance, you can leverage this information in order to generate KPI lift benchmarks, whether it's for particular brands, products, categories, verticals, or campaign types, or really any grouping that meets your needs. With that, I'll pass it back over to Ali to see if we've got any questions from the audience about this new feature and how it can help them in their respective roles.
Thanks, Jeremy. We've got a few questions coming in. So the first one is, how are the campaign weights determined?
That's a great question. Thank you for that. Campaigns are weighted based on their standard error. So campaigns for which we are more confident in KPI lifts receive greater weight, and those for which we are less confident receive less weight. Now that takes into account, of course, the confidence, that is, the number of respondents and the power of the effect that we detect. So it gives those campaigns appropriate weight when thinking about what they tell us about the performance of a set of campaigns or a cut over a set of campaigns. Great question. Thank you again for that.
Our next question is, will future releases allow for more granular data?
Absolutely. Our next release is focused on delivering the cut level view of campaign performance, allowing you to compare cuts across different campaigns. This unlocks comparison of any tactic that you've measured in your in those campaigns, all with a few clicks. And that is something we are eager to bring to our customers as soon as it is ready.
Next one is this available now in the dashboard?
Currently, we're in a closed beta, but we are very excited to open the beta up in short order, probably over the course of the next few weeks, to all our customers. That will enable our customers to use the portfolio analytics feature in their dashboards in very short order.
All right, next up, we have a question on how do you go about identifying and prioritizing the KPIs?
Identifying and prioritizing the KPIs. I see. So you are able to select any KPI that you've measured across a set of campaigns. And you can, by selecting that KPI, display the results for that KPI in terms of lift performance for those campaigns that you've selected. You can reorder the KPIs, and you can select KPIs that aren't measured for every campaign in order to understand which campaigns they were in fact measured for, and then focus your analysis on those campaigns by removing the ones that don't have results. I hope that answers the question. If not, feel free to reach out to us.
Another question is, can I combine lift for multiple campaigns for the same brand?
I think I understand the question. If you are thinking about, if the person posing the question is thinking about the cumulative impact of multiple campaigns, this is something we've been thinking hard about. And we do currently have an approach that allows you to measure this across multiple campaigns. But the portfolio view aims to treat each campaign separately and then understand how across those campaigns the average performance looks. So a little bit of a different use case, but one that Upwave is able to address just not captured in the portfolio view.
All right, we've got a big one saying the groupings that appear in the portfolio view will be piped in from the individual campaign's placement mapping files, correct? If there are inconsistencies across campaigns, are we able to regroup them within the portfolio view?
That is a big question indeed. Yes, so currently, the information you can use in order to select and group your campaigns is based on the campaign's names. As I mentioned during the presentation, in the very near future, we aim to make cuts available to our users. And in order to use cuts, what's essential is to be able to compare across different campaigns, to be able to identify, across different campaigns, what cut to compare. Where naming of those cuts might vary across different campaigns, which can happen for a variety of reasons. It can happen because taxonomies change. It can happen because different individuals are responsible for the use of naming conventions, and it can happen for a variety of reasons. But where that is the case, it is not easy off the right out of the gate to make those comparisons systematically. What we are thinking of doing in the future, what is on our roadmap, is giving users an ability to identify cuts which might have different names across different campaigns, and say, these are essentially the same thing, and I'd like to compare them with one another, allowing you to make comparisons where naming conventions or taxonomies have changed or were inconsistent without needing to remap placements for all your campaigns. That was a big question. It was also a long answer. I think it addresses what the question was getting at. But again, if it does not, please reach out to us, and we're happy to share a little bit more about how we seek to address that need in the future.
All right, we've got two more. So next up is, does this work for linear TV campaigns?
Does this work? Yes, it does. So any campaign that we have measured, that Upwave has measured, is available in the portfolio view. And any measurement of that campaign by channel will also be available as a cut in a future upcoming release. So the ability to compare, for example, linear performance across multiple campaigns, or CTV performance across multiple campaigns, as long as those tactics, those channels, are mapped as cuts, they are available for you to interrogate in the portfolio view.
All right, last one. How should we think about campaigns having different objectives, upper funnel versus lower funnel? Will this info be available?
Great question. So if the objective of the campaign is, for instance, awareness, versus the objective of campaign A is awareness, and the objective of campaign B is still an attitudinal metric, but much lower funnel, like purchase intent, what sort of comparisons can you draw between them? This is something we've thought about, and we're working to systematize in our platform. Objectives are something that inform which KPIs you should pay attention to. So the strategic objective should accord with the metric that you are, and KPI in our parlance, that you are using to assess performance of the campaign. And understanding which campaigns have which objectives is something that we do aim to surface more and more in our dashboard. For the moment, the best way to understand which campaigns have which objectives is to keep track of those through your campaign names. I don't mean to actually add the objective to the campaign name. I mean to understand which campaigns are upper funnel, which campaigns are lower funnel, and then to compare the ones that you think should be grouped. In other words, select campaigns with higher funnel metrics upper funnel metrics, excuse me, and compare those, and select campaigns with lower funnel metrics and compare those where it is appropriate, for your analysis. But it is something we're thinking about and looking to manifest throughout our platform in ways that will help users to understand what to look at for different campaigns. Great question.
Ooh, I think we have time for one more. We just got another. Are we able to retroactively add previous studies, or will this only be available for studies which take place post-product launch?
That is a great question, and I'm very happy to say that we have designed this explicitly with the intent of enabling users to compare not just current campaigns, but historic campaigns. That's where a lot of the power of the sort of analysis that this enables really resides. So being able to compare across all the campaigns that you've measured with Upwave is a key feature of portfolio analytics, and something that we are very excited that our customers will be able to leverage for lots of the different use cases that we described in this webinar.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jeremy. This was a great session. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We will be making this recording available post-event, so that this full recording and Q&A will be sent to you. It will also be available on our website and our YouTube. And we look forward to seeing you at our next Upwave event. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much, everyone. Thanks, Allie.